everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of Breaking Apart. I'm your host, Tao, or Bao Tao if you watch me from the other show, Dream News. But you can just call me Tao here, because today we're not gonna talk about news and all. We're actually gonna talk about product, and the product that we have for today, the Paradox Super Silver Diamond. Now, how do we get our hands on this? Because if you know, Paradox is not actually available in Malaysia. It's only available outside the country. And the reason why we got this is because we visited a workshop where we're going to show you after this, where they actually kind enough to provide us some of the samples so we can have a look at this. Now, the first thing that you'll notice once you get your hands on this Paradox Super Silver Diamond is that how similar the texture above it feels like sandpaper. It actually does feel like sandpaper. And when I was in the workshop and I see the workers there trying to apply this onto the car, they actually have to wear gloves and all to protect their fingers from roughing too much on the surface of this, because it is that rough. But it's not like sandpaper roughness. It's not like that rough, but it is rough enough to gives out that kind of sandpaper vibe. And you can also see that it has that glitter effect, and it also have that glitter dust kind of on it. When you try to rough it, you actually kind of feels like the glitter is about to fall off, but it doesn't actually fall off, because obviously it's not going to fall off. If you pay a lot for this, it's definitely not going to fall off. Another thing here is that this actually uses a paper back lining, which is not the plastic back lining, which means it's much easier to rip off the whole thing afterwards on this back lining here. And another thing that's special about this is that it's actually a honeycomb air-free type of vinyl, which means that you don't need to use water to apply onto the glue itself or on the surface in order to actually apply this onto the car, because air-free is it's like a dry method of applying vinyl to your car. You can just straight up apply it on it and then just use the squeezies, just push the air out. You don't have to do the usual way you have to spray the back of the vinyl with some water and cover it on top, and then later only use the squeezy to push the water out, and sometimes the water might get trapped inside the vinyl. You don't have to do that. So that's the reason why this is very, very good quality kind of vinyl. And another thing is that because this is like a very, very solid type of vinyl, it is actually quite thick. We have a protective PPF, protective film here, which is actually, if you compare them both side by side, this is actually way less thick than this one. Now, traditionally, this one's supposed to be thicker than this, but from here you can see that if you try to fling it, this kind of stays in place because it is that rigid and thick. But if you do it on the film one, you can see that it's not really that rigid. It's just kind of it's like a grass. It just follows the wind, just flow along. It's not really that rigid. But traditionally this is supposed to be more rigid than this, because as you know, protective film is to protect your car. So most of the people that applies this onto their car wants it to be thick enough to take any impacts or scratch or anything. Maybe the one that we have here is not really a very thick one. Maybe there's like thicker one outside, but we don't know. We're probably gonna check that out in the future, so stay tuned to know more. So since this is like a very thick vinyl, you have to use heat gun or like any kind of heat to at least like kind of gelatinize it. I don't know if that's the word. Soften? Maybe soften is the word. Yeah, soften is the word. Maybe soften the vinyl a little bit more so it's easier for you to stretch them out. Personally, I don't really see that as a problem, because I'm pretty sure everyone that is going to work on this kind of vinyl has heat gun and all those resources, so it's not going to be a big problem. But I guess it is a bit of another extra work to do. So with that said, let's move on to the adhesive that they are actually using. So the adhesive they are actually using is called acrylic. Yeah, that word is difficult to pronounce. But yeah, so the acrylic adhesive is one type of resin, and this type of resin is very, very durable. It's already well known in the industry or in the manufacturing industry as one of the best adhesive. And another thing about this acrylic adhesive is that if you stick this onto the surface and then later onwards you want to peel it off, it won't leave any kind of sticky substance onto the surface of the original car, so it won't damage the original paint. It won't really create any kind of mess underneath the vinyl. So the fact that they have that in this kind of vinyl means that it is a good quality vinyl. But the problem is me sitting here and explaining all the specs to you is not really going to, like show you the true potential of this vinyl. So let's move on to the future Tao, and who is in the JWrapz studio right now, and let him explain how do you actually use this on the car. Future Tao. Okay, everybody, so now we're finally here at the JWrapz Car.Wrap.Specialist studio. And now we're going to go inside and meet Mr. Lester and see what can he let us know about the Paradox Super Silver Diamond. Come on, let's go. Mr. Lester, where are you, Mr. Lester? Hello, yes, here we go. I'm Mr. Lester. So, I want to ask, what car are we wrapping today?
Today we are wrapping SLK, Mercedes SLK 200.
Okay, so this is with the Paradox Super Silver Diamond, right?
Yes, correct.
So did you suggest this Super Paradox Silver Diamond to your customer, or they chose it themselves?
Okay, they are looking for something that is very unique. And I have shown them few of the colors, but it's not even in the catalogs as well. So this is the Super Silver Diamond that I show them through online. Okay. And let them see how does it look on this rack. I also special order for them.
Oh, so you special order from outside the country?
Yeah.
So you can't get this in country?
In Malaysia, I don't think Malaysia is production on vinyl.
Oh, okay. Is there any difference between this Paradox and other brand?
Depend on what brands are you using. So far I have using on this brand. There are no damagings on our original carpet. As you can see this car.
Okay.
Just remove the car vinyls and the paint is still very new.
So the reason why you chose the vinyl is because it doesn't ruin the original paint?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the type of car that you recommend for this kind of wrap? Or is there any other recommendation that you make on this?
For the first thing, of course, supercar, sport car, and other luxury car.
Why so? Why do you recommend this kind of wrap for them?
It's because of more attractive.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So it
Much
makes it
more catching on other people's eyes.
I see. As we can see here, Mr. Lester is wrapping the vinyl onto the car, and you can see that all he had to do was just cut out the correct proportion for the part that is about to wrap and take out the back lining and just paste it onto the car like a normal sticker. He didn't use any water or liquid to coat the sticker since, as I said, the vinyl itself is air free. So even if initially there was a lot of air trapped inside the vinyl, he could just simply use the squeegee and push them out, as the air bubbles can just be pushed out through the vinyl alone. You can also see that they are using heat gun to stretch the vinyl to stick onto curved or crooked part of the car, which is way easier than just using force by hand. I know after seeing all this footage you might think, wow, car wrapping is quite easy, huh? But hey, only experts can make hard stuffs look easy. Yeah, they are experts, by the way. In the span of just one day, they were able to finish wrapping the entire car, which is quite impressive considering the quality of the workmanship itself is still really good. Alright, now it's time for the big reveal. Let's have a look at the final look of the car.
Perfect.
And we're back at the studio. So after seeing Mr. Lester using this on his customer car, I can definitely agree that this is definitely a good quality vinyl. Not only this vinyl is very good quality, it's also very eye-catching because we were there filming the end product of the car, where we were filming the after look of the entire car after being wrapped inside this Paradox vinyl. And when we were there filming, every car that passed by us have their phones out and actually taking picture of the car. So it is definitely eye-catching. Like even passerby couldn't look past them. But personally, I would probably not going to apply this onto my car because it is a bit too eye-catching. And also when I was trying to film the car itself, it was under like glaring sun, and because this thing is like shining and all that, I'm like basically looking at a disco ball that's spinning 24/7. Like it's continuously spinning, and it just kind of blinded my eyes. I have to look away, like just close my eyes for like a few seconds in order to get back my vision. Okay, maybe that's a bit too dramatic, but it is like kind of eyes hurting. But if you like this type of vinyl, maybe you're like those people that really like your car to be eye-catching, you want to be the attention on the road, maybe this is the one that you should go for. The only downside I see about this vinyl is that it's not really that common in Malaysia. I think Miss Celeste still have a bit, but it's not a lot. So if you want to get this, it is very rare. But yeah, that's it for this episode of Breaking Apart, and there's more to come. So make sure you stay tuned and watch all of it. Click like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, ring the bell and all that. And I'll see you next time. Annyeong.